Nope, it's not gonna fit. Okay. Okay, everyone, I am back. Hopefully people will join. We will see. Trying to make it so you guys don't have to see my entire cloffice. I guess I need to move this way. Yes, this way. Okay. All right. So hopefully more people will trickle in. I am looking for the trial. I have not seen it yet on YouTube. They did say they were going to meet at 9:30 this morning, which would be 8:30 my time because I am in Texas. I don't know where everyone else is located. So if you would put in the chat where you guys are, that would be awesome. I would love to see where everybody is tuning in from. Right now, I'm just talking to myself. So okay. It is still not on. So we're still waiting. Still waiting for Christpher, Gregor to have this trial begin. I don't know what the deal is, what's taking so long. Adjust this camera maybe a little bit more. Okay. Ooh, I hate that you guys are seeing my okay. Nope, that's not a good shot. Playing with my camera, you guys. Sorry. Trying to get you to see. Okay. Well, okay. Well. Hi. Nice. Nice. Okay, so this is my cloffice, you guys. Anyone who's tuned in saw me trying to cover up some stuff, but this is my cloffice. And as you know, I'm not a professional YouTuber. You guys probably see I don't edit a lot. I just am natural. My picture on YouTube is very deceiving. So hello to anyone who's tuning in. I have been looking for the trial. They said they were going to start at 9:30, which is 8:30 my time in Texas. So I have not seen it yet. And I apologize for the way that I look, but I just do everything all natural. I did get up and wash my face this morning and put on all of my many steps of moisturizers. So this is me. So welcome to the alternate point of view. Hello, Shelly. How are you? Good morning. Wow, what time is it on Ontario, Canada? Is it nighttime there? I think it is. Maybe, I don't know. Dang, I don't know what Canada time is. I probably sound really stupid right now because I really have no idea what time Canada time is. It's not like on the other side of the earth. Good grief. But hopefully this trial will start soon. I'm just waiting. Keep refreshing. I cannot show the trial while I am on video because I don't have that advanced software yet. I tried to get it on, oh, you're same time almost. So yeah, you're just an hour ahead. Duh. Okay. I feel stupid now. But I've been trying to find the trial. They haven't even shown it like in a waiting, like you usually see like the seal of the courtroom, and that's not even up yet. So I can't see it. But I'm just refreshing my phone. But I can't live stream it, unfortunately, because of copyright issues, and I don't have the right proper software because I'm not quite that technology savvy yet, but I am learning. So maybe one day we will be able to watch trials together once I become better at YouTube. But for now, this is just me and you guys and anyone else who joins. I decided to do the live. Only like 7 people voted, but everyone voted yes. So hopefully the whole 7 people that voted yes will join. We'll see. But I'd like to hear, Shelly, since it's just you and I. Oh, I think there's somebody else on here. Please join in the chat. What you guys think so far about this trial or any trial that's going on right now. I have the Karen Reed trial going on in the other room. But yes, I am waiting for the Christpher Gregor trial to pop up. If it will, that would be awesome. But I don't see it still. I just see the Doomsday, the Karen Reed, Merrick Garland. It's kind of strange that they said they were going to do this at 9:30 and it hasn't come up yet. So I'm curious to know if something changed. I mean, I wonder if they sent something out to the jury, maybe, and we don't know about it. It's kind of weird. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching my channel. Do you guys have any questions or anything? Anything else that you'd be interested in hearing about that you know about? I know there's some cool stuff in Canada that goes on because I watch a lot of stuff, crime stuff that happens in Canada. Any cool or interesting? Oh, isn't there a case in Canada where there is this guy that was a cannibal that went on trial up there? Did he get convicted, or isn't it like a controversial thing because this kid like signed over his body to him and he was an adult and he challenged the court and said that since the guy was an adult and said he gave up his body to be eaten by this guy? Do you remember that? I think that happened in Canada. I know Canada is like huge, but I do remember seeing that. It was really gross and really weird, but I think the guy got convicted anyway, whether the kid gave him permission or not. It's really gross. So, I know, right? I mean, who would know who that guy is? That treadmill video is just all over. And I can't believe that his parents are saying they've never seen the video. I bet you $1 million they have, because there's no way that they haven't seen that video. It's everywhere. I mean, everywhere. I think just, what do you guys think of the dad's, I guess, persona, his attitude? I mean, he used to be a cop, so he seems pretty rigid to me, and he seems very, yeah, rigid, like very black and white, very, I feel like his dad was very just militarian, like just it's his way or the highway kind of person. So I feel like, and the mom was kind of, I don't want to say she was meek, but I think she was very submissive, I guess you could say. So, excuse me, I feel like that is kind of their relationship. And I wonder how the other kids are in this family dynamic. And I wonder if the defense is going to call up any character witnesses for Christpher. And I also find it strange because someone reminded me in the comments about the girl that met him in Tennessee. Like, where is she in all of this? How does she fit into this puzzle? Because she is the one that met him in Tennessee to supposedly bring him back to New Jersey. Like, who is she? Who is this girl? And how does she fit into this puzzle? Because it's kind of doesn't make any sense. And what kind of woman goes and meets a guy who just left his son dead in a hospital? I'm just curious. Lots of questions. I'm still searching. Has anyone else found anything of the trial? Because I'm missing it. I'm missing it, or they're not having trial, or maybe they postponed it for later. But I'm not seeing it. Yeah, and did you also notice that he really didn't have much emotion? You know, like even talking about Corey, he showed a little bit of emotion, but not really as much as you would think. And I also think that the grandparents were the ones that drove that custody situation more so than Christpher. And you can tell Christpher really wasn't around that much when it came to taking care of him. And also, the dad didn't even know what school the kid went to. So that's really odd. So I'm wondering, like, was this family, did they even really want the little boy, or did they just not want the mom to have him? I feel like it was more, I think it's just a lot of control in that family, a lot. So, yeah, I think it's just a lot of control. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, definitely. There's a little bit of emotion off that side of the family. Do you guys think Christpher is going to testify? I wonder. Hi, everyone who's joining. I see I have 6 whole people. This is great. I'm sorry I can't show the video. Not that savvy yet. And also, the video is not on yet. I don't know where they're at. They are having a lot of construction, a lot of parking issues. So we'll see. But I do appreciate everyone so much. Doing this live, just so you guys know, is very, it keeps me out of my bed. Normally, I'm like literally in the bed all day watching trials and laying on a heating pad because I'm in a lot of pain all the time. So this is much more motivating. Okay, I keep refreshing and I'm seeing every trial but his trial. It's so weird. Oh, are you guys also following the Idaho case, the Kohlberger case, which I think is just like taking an insane amount of time to go to trial? They had a very late hearing yesterday with a cell phone detective, something regarding the cell phone data. I didn't quite understand all of the information they were trying to come out with this guy, but apparently he's been hanging on to a lot of information and the defense is just getting it. So it's kind of strange. That's going to be a huge, huge case and trial when it finally goes to trial. Do you guys think Brian Kohlberger did it? I'm kind of curious. I don't see a whole lot of evidence, really, to be honest. So I'm kind of on the fence about him. Probably the only person on the fence about him, but at best, I think there's a lot of circumstantial stuff. Also, being in forensics and criminal justice, watching the crime scene and the way they handled it. There was a lot of, so, you know, when you do crime scene, take evidence, that kind of stuff, you should have like booties on, gloves on. You should pretty much be, and in a crime scene that had that many victims and that much evidence that they had to take out of the scene, like they literally took evidence out of the scene uh, without gloves. They also combined the evidence, like they took bags of evidence out with stuff mixed together, and they took it and put it in a U-Haul, and it was all mixed together, and they touched and passed the evidence to one another. So some people had gloves, some people didn't. I have a video of that where I kind of like I posted pictures of how they were taking the evidence out. So I feel like there was a lot of cross contamination going on. I also feel like with the evidence that they only have like some kind of cell phone data evidence, which is, you know, becoming better than DNA these days. But also the fact that to me, it's just a lot of cross contamination with the evidence. Okay. To me, I feel like they didn't properly do it right. I mean, it is a very small town. And I mean, you had the local police department handling the evidence. And then you also have the fact that they tore the house down. Like, I don't think they should have torn the house down. I think they should have kept the house up, because that would be a point of place where they can visit. The jury should have had the opportunity to visit, kind of like they did in the Alex Murdaugh trial, where they visited Moselle and they could get a sense of how things laid out. If they had had the house to go visit for the trial, you could see how possibly one person could go into the house and kill 4 people, and one of them being a guy. Like, how could you go in and stabbing 4 people that's a pretty vicious crime, and it is not something you can do easily without causing a ruckus, right? 4 people, uh, one person in different rooms. I just feel like that's, you know, I know Ted Bundy did it in the sorority house with the nursing students in Florida, but at the same time, he was able to control each of those women and in separate rooms. But these people were in rooms together, especially the boyfriend girlfriend, you know. So I'm kind of curious, how did he control the guy? How did no one have any like fight back? So I'm really curious as to how this case is going to unfold, and I'd like to see what the prosecution has besides that knife sheath. I hear they have the knife sheath, but I don't know. So I'm just kind of curious. But I watched the way they took out the evidence. It looks like a lot of cross contamination going on, and Brian Kohlberger is like, I mean, he's just a strange, introverted kind of guy. But does that make him a quadruple murderer? I don't know. You guys tell me what you think about the whole Kohlberger situation. He's waiving his rights to a speedy trial because, I mean, he's pretty adamant about his innocence. But then again, so is Christpher Gregor. I mean, he turned down a 30-year plea deal, and look at how that's turned out for him. I mean, not so great. So, all right, let me see if I can find. This trial is happening today or not. My gosh. I am still not. Today is Friday, right? Am I losing track of my days? Nope, today's Friday. He did say they would be back today. Maybe 9:30 their time is an hour ahead. I don't know. Strange. So is anyone keeping up with the Karen Read trial at all? Does anyone have any opinion about that? What are you guys' thoughts on Karen Reed? Do you think she hit him, or do you think it's a master plan conspiracy theory that's going on with Karen Reed? Oh, you're in Texas? I'm in Texas, Julie. We love our crime in Texas. I'm in Austin. Well, actually, technically Dripping Springs. Nobody wants to go to Austin. It's too crowded. Oh, honey, Austin is crazy. It is packed. They are building new road. We live in Dripping, and Dripping used to be like all green. Now it's apartments, restaurants. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. It's so packed here. So packed. But I do love. I still like it here. It's still really cool. All right, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna try to find. I don't know. I think it's crazy that this is not up yet. I wonder if something happened with the construction up there. Okay, see you later, Julie. Thank you for checking in. All right, who else do we have on our chat? Shelly, are you still hanging out? Man, battery's dying on me. Okay, maybe we will find this trial. Hmm. That's what I'm, yeah, Kelly, that's what I'm looking for. It's supposed to be, they were supposed to start at 9:30, and it's already 9:30 in Texas, so that's 10:30 up there. So I'm trying to figure out why it's not even showing up. It seems kind of strange. Yeah, he's saying, I'm watching the trial from the other day, and it's saying that they're going to meet on Friday. So I think it's very odd. It says 9:30. I do not see the trial. So yeah, Kathy, I don't know where they are. This is absolutely nuts. I'm really curious if the construction is holding them up, or if they're. I mean, because he did say something about parking. And you would think that they would have released something saying they weren't going to meet today, like they owe us, like they owe us something. But it is the craziest trial. I am shocked. That honestly, I'm shocked that they scheduled this trial. If they knew they were going to have this many days in between, I'm shocked. And I know that the defense is not called for a mistrial or a dismissal, because they know all of these day breaks are going to be ripe for an appeal, because this is not a proper handling of a trial. I mean, we're not in, like the judge made a comment saying that they had to do these kind of things during COVID. And I understand that, but this isn't COVID time. This is regular business going on. And to have this many days between trial doesn't make any sense. So I don't understand why this is happening, but I totally believe this is going to make for an appeal, because there's no way that the jury has not seen anything about this trial. I mean, this trial is getting more attention to me, and I can tell by my video views, than the Karen Read trial, which everyone keeps saying is like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, which I don't believe that. I can tell just by my video views that this trial is getting more hits than the Karen Read trial. So, yeah, I'm in Austin, so it's 9:41 here. So it's 10:41 in Jersey. So they should have already been going for an hour by now. So I don't understand what the deal is. I'm curious to see. Let me look up and see if they have changed their mind. Messing with this mouse. Hi, Renee. Linda, Kathy. Renee, are you in New Jersey? Have you heard if the trial's canceled? What part of New Jersey are you in? I have relatives that live up there. I go up there all the time. I love it. It's so pretty. Oh, do you? Get out. Who do you know? Do you know the mom or the father? The mom's mom. That's crazy. Oh, oh, okay. That's got to be so awful for them because they had him all that time just to have him taken away, all because she just was looking for child support. So it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Is she the one in the background with the glasses on that I keep seeing, that keep showing of in the courtroom? Do you still talk to her? Hi everyone that's joining the chat or joining the view. I don't see the trial yet starting, so I think they're very late. I hope it's going to show today. I haven't seen any news otherwise. I have 17 whole people. This is so cool. Oh, we're down to 15. I know there's no trial showing yet, you guys. I'm so sorry. I can't control New Jersey. But hopefully we can get to know each other a little bit. This is pretty awesome. Yeah, obviously they're having a hard time. So this is awful for everybody. I mean, what's so terrible is that they had to find out. How did they even find out about Corey's death? Because he didn't tell anyone. He told his parents, but he didn't even have the decency to tell uh, Brianna. That doesn't make any sense. I don't understand how they found out. They found out pretty quickly though, considering they were like over at uh, his parents' house, like as far as they say, that Rebecca was over at their house that day. So uh, I just I just find it crazy that people go through this. That this isn't the first case. Like if you've heard of Adam Montgomery, the same thing happened in that situation. They gave the father custody, and then Harmony was killed by him. It just makes no sense. For some reason lately, I think I mentioned this, is that parents are killing their kids left and right all of a sudden. I don't understand what is going on, and it's usually in the midst of a custody situation. Um, but neither parent is actually fit to have the child. I think, you know, Brianna was going through some stuff, obviously, but it didn't mean didn't love Corey. I mean, she raised him the first 4 years of his life. So I don't understand what the decision making process was there. What made him more fit than her when they were both going through stuff? Hi, Lucy. We're looking for it. I'm looking for it. I don't see it yet. Um, I don't know if they're running very behind or what's going on. Yeah, it's been going. I mean, it's kind of like an epidemic or something. Because if you haven't noticed, a lot of parents are just like, back in the. I mean, I don't know how old you guys are, but I I'm from the age when, Susan Smith. Um, I remember that in the 90s. Um, Diane Downs, uh, those kind of things. Oh, and what's the woman's name? Lindsay. I'm going to cover her trial when she comes out. But those cases were a lot of postpartum, I believe. I think a lot of those actually, and I think the Lindsay situation, I think she may suffer postpartum. But with the fathers, it's a lot of fathers lately that are doing it, and I think they're just not meant to be fathers. I think they are just mean, and I also think it's a lot of just spite. Like they're doing it out of spite to the moms. Oh, they're not going to do trial today? I thought Dr. Botnick was coming today. Hi, Captain Pirate. Where did you hear they're pushing it to next week? Oh, dang. Oh, Law and Crime said they weren't going to do it. I just went on their site. Oh, man. Okay, yeah, I have the Reed case going on in the other room. They finally have Brian Higgins on the stand. Have you guys, who all's keeping up with the Karen Reed case? Anyone? So, all right, Captain Pirate, what do you think of the Karen Reed case? Do you think it's a big giant conspiracy, or do you think she hit him, or do you think I have three theories? Okay, he either tripped and fell and hit his head on the fire extinguisher or the fire hydrant. She could have hit him and he fell and hit his head on the fire hydrant. Or there was actually something that happened. He did make it into the house and he was beat up and they threw him in the snow, whatever. But he was completely covered in snow. So I don't know how they found him or she saw him as they were driving through the snow. So what is y'all's theory? What do you think? You don't think she hit him? Okay. Captain Pirate says she didn't hit him. Anybody else? What do you think, Lucy? Oh, okay. Okay. Why? What do you think the why is? Because that's in interviews and interrogations that I have done. we already know the answers for everything but the why. So that's what we always try to pull out of people is the why did you do it? The Gregor trial was supposed to be back today, but Captain Pirate said on the Law and Crime channel that it has been called off. I don't think Dr. Botnick was going to make it today, apparently. So, and you know, the defense is hinging their entire case on Dr. Botnick. Hi, Jen. How are you? Hi, Nutty. Sorry. Tart. How are you? Welcome. This is my first live, so you can see I got really dressed up for this. But we are talking about Karen Read now. How many of you guys are following that trial? I'm great. Oh, shut the front door, really? Yeah, I know. I woke up. Look, you guys, you got me out of bed today, so I'm glad that you guys are on here. Normally, I'm having to lay down a lot and on a heat pad, so I really only get up. I watch trials, and I do the recaps for my YouTube channel, and I'm not monetized, so I don't have the fancy equipment. I'm not ready. I don't have the fancy software where I can watch a trial and do like other people do and like have screen and screen. I don't know how to do that yet. I'm not fancy yet, so I'll figure it out though. Figure it out. But there are copyright issues you have to deal with when you do stuff like that. So, but if anyone's keeping up with the Karen Read trial, Brian Higgins is on the stand today, and they're on a break, and they're going to do I'm pretty sure it's going to be a short day because this judge likes to do short days. She likes to do long weekends. This judge is very irritating. I feel like she gives a lot of rope to the prosecution. And she doesn't give enough rope to the defense because actually the defense should get more rope because they're the defense. And they have to prove, they don't have to prove anything, but they have their client's life in their hands. So I think she's giving a lot to the prosecution. I don't know if any of you guys agree or not, or if you're keeping up with it, but I think the prosecution has very weak case, circumstantial at best. So you think the judge in the Gregor case is biased too? I think he's irritated and frustrated at the lawyers on both sides. I think because this case is not buttoned up and wrapped in a pretty little bow, I think he's very frustrated with all of these breaks that are happening. And I think he knows that this is a recipe for appeal. Oh, was that what happened to the basement? Yes, the case is taking too long. And I think that the reason why, and I've said this several times, the defense hasn't asked for a dismissal in the Gregor case is because it's such a choppy case, choppy trial. And there's no way in the holy world that the jury has not seen something about this trial, about this case, or seen anything outside, any outside commentation or anything. I mean, my gosh, someone mentioned earlier that they'd never even heard of Christopher Gregor until she saw the treadmill video. So, I mean, really? Yeah, and the fact, Captain Pirate, that they sold the house, they got rid of their dog. I mean, what? Now, I will say, tell me this. Do you think that the marks on John O'Keefe's arms match dog scratches or bites? Because I don't think they do. I feel like those are actual like lacerations, like cuts of some sort, like with a knife or something. I don't think those are dog. I have dogs, and my dogs scratch me all the time, and they don't look like that. So I just don't know. I don't know. But I don't think that they can pin it on Karen. So I'm just having trouble believing that she saw him in the snow. And if you didn't see Jennifer McCabe's testimony, y'all, her facial expressions towards Karen, what did Karen do to her? Woo! She is like dagger eyes at that woman. Like, what in the world? I don't know if you guys, if you guys are watching it, tell me what you think about Jennifer McCabe. But Jennifer McCabe looks like she is, like, if looks could kill, Karen Reed would be like dead. I don't know. That's how it looks, right? Like they look like they're like mean girls, like jealous, like crazy. It's crazy. I don't know. John O'Keefe was a good looking dude, over 6 feet tall. I mean, I don't know, but it's a messy situation. It's very messy. And is anyone watching the TikTok murder trial? I really have only just been checking that out a little bit, but yeah, they're all mean girls. You know, it's crazy that I mean, I've always been fascinated with crime and stuff. I don't why are you guys fascinated with crime and trials and tragedy and stuff? What draws you to it? Because I've been in criminal justice my whole career, up until I wasn't able to do it anymore, but it's always been something fascinating to me. So what draws you guys to it? Makes you fascinated about it? Or are we just bored people? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. This is really fun. I have people from Canada on here. This is great. Yes, yes. Mine's the why. Sometimes that's a question we never get answered is the why. You never get the why out of people. So yeah. So I think the problem with the Karen Reed trial is they're never going to know what happened, and they're never going to know why. They know John died, but they're never going to know how. They're never going to know why, and they're never going to know what. So there's a lot of those questions are never going to be answered, because once this trial is over, and uh, if she's found not guilty, they're never going to investigate this case again. You know what I mean? Like, it's just going to go to the wayside, because they're never going to investigate the Alberts or the McCabes. They didn't do their due diligence in the first place. So John O'Keefe's death is just going to go unanswered, and the family will go with no answers. And Karen Reed will continuously have that target on her back. And it won't really matter what the outcome of this trial is. John O'Keefe's death is never going to be solved, period, which is really, really, really sad. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Thank you, Kathleen. I appreciate that. Yeah, so you guys agree it's just going to be a cold case, which is sad. Yeah, they're trying to make her out like she's some jealous witch. Did you see the women that got on the stand that were John O'Keefe's friends, and that were like saying she was saying like, who the F are you? Who, like from across a hotel or something? I'm like, what? Like, who does that? I find that very hard to believe that she's doing that just like out of the blue. Like, who the F are you? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And especially when people are all like, oh, they had a great relationship, everyone, even the people who are throwing dagger eyes at her are saying that like they were having a great relationship. But they did literally say that she was just a babysitter with benefits. How messed up is that? Like, clearly she's not part of the fold, okay? Like they clearly have like a clan and she ain't in it. So, yeah. Yeah, I was raised a military brat, so um I just always I either wanted to be a lawyer or an actress. I didn't make it to be a lawyer. I did do acting for a while. I still act, just not as often because it doesn't fall in line with my beliefs. I think Hollywood is Holly weird. So, um, but uh, yeah. So I did do acting for a while, but changed that, and I just like to do my own stuff. And this is fun. This is fun. So a lot of people do it to make tons of money, and a lot of YouTubers out there do make a lot of money, but not me. Oh yes, there are a lot of kids that are just. I have done some films with Thomas Hayden Church. It was called Chocolate Lizards, but I think they changed the name of it to something else. I can't remember. Um, and Ben in Walker with Jared Padalecki. Is that his name? And I've done some short films, some independent films, and then this year, hopefully this year sometime, this will be the final thing that my project that I work on, unless it's a Christian based or something like that project that I find. I'm doing a true story. It's called E40S. Every 40 seconds is what it stands for, and it's a human trafficking true story about one of my friends. Her name is Chong Kim, and she was sex trafficked as a child. And we did a short film about it last year and entered it into film festivals, and it's won a lot of awards. And now we're going to be making a movie about it and submit that so that we can start actual series. So we'll see how that goes. We're still looking for funding, of course. So, yeah, but hi, Adele. It looks like the trial has been postponed to next week, as Captain Pirate pointed out. Yeah, the house in Fairview, right? Also, John O'Keefe's house looked like super expensive. Dude, Jersey is expensive. My relatives live there, and that place is not cheap. And the taxes that they have there are outrageous. So my cousins complain about the taxes. So I don't know how John O'Keefe's house. I don't know how he afforded it. Like seriously, I don't know what they get paid up there. I'm sure cops in Boston get paid like six figures a year, but still, even on six figures, I mean, how do you afford that and taking care of kids? And I don't know. I don't know what they're making. Yeah, I think as Captain Pirate said, they probably put off the trial to next week because A, it's a holiday weekend, and B, the construction going on, as they mentioned before. Thanks for joining, Adele. Thanks everybody for joining, is coming in and out of the chat. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that was I don't what kind of car John O'Keefe have. I know Karen had a Lexus, but John O'Keefe had his that's what they called his what they call his car, like his basic car. I think he had something else in the garage. So uh the one that was sitting outside the garage was like his basic car. So I don't know. I do not know what these guys are doing for a living because all of these people look well to do. You saw like the wives, like Jennifer McCabe. I think her husband has a well to do job, but she's like all like very white teeth, very well dressed. The kids, I mean, they have like 4 or 5 kids. Holy crap. Yeah. They're doing pretty well for themselves. So I don't know. And then Brian McGinnis, if you didn't notice when he got on the stand, he works for the ATF. That guy's untouchable. I'm sorry. No. As soon as he said that he worked for the ATF, I was like, yep, ain't nothing happening to this guy. So yeah, nothing's happening to any one of these people. That was done. I did not know he worked for the ATF. So Yeah, that's a dunzo situation. They got friends in high places. I'll say that. It's pretty crazy. Where are you from, Captain Pirate? Buffalo, New York. Okay. There's a lot of Yankees on here. Well, I'm in Texas and it is hot. What's the weather like up there? We're getting the humidity like nobody's business. I don't know what's going on. It's that climate change and all, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, we didn't used to have this bad of humidity, but now for some reason we are definitely having the humidity. Because I'm from Alabama originally, and we get humidity there. And for some reason, it is happening here worse than it ever has. But I do go up to Jersey and visit a lot. It's so pretty up there. Okay, so I talked to some of the people earlier about the Brian Koberger case and how they are uh, just putting it off, and he's basically waived his right to a speedy trial. Um, what do you guys think about Brian Koberger? I'm kind of on the fence about this guy. I don't know. Oh, hi, Nutty Tart. I love your I love your name. Um, the ATF is the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms here. It's a federal organization that monitors gun control, uh, firearm, tobacco, alcohol. The ATF monitors all of that, or supposedly. Um, so it's a federal government job. So here in America, um, that's a pretty big deal. It's part of like kind of like an FBI agent or CIA. It's up on that level. So I feel like he's pretty untouchable being in that position. So you think he's guilty, Brian Koberger? Man, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with him because the reason I'm on the fence is because four people, okay, stabbed, which is pretty brutal way to go. No one heard anything. Like the first person, when you stab someone, they're going to scream, I would think. I don't know. Plus, also, the cross contamination of evidence that I saw just coming from a forensics background, watching them load the evidence up, and there were evidence thrown into bags. There were some people that were passing evidence off to each other. Some had gloves, some didn't. So I'm worried about the cross contamination of the evidence. I'm also concerned about the fact that they tore the house down and that the jury does not get the opportunity to tour the house and see the layout as they should be able to see it, kind of like they got to go see the Moselle Farm ranch or whatever you want to call it for Alex Murdaugh. They got to see the actual scene, and I'm nervous that the jury won't be able to see that for this case, which is really sad because I think they could get a better view of how he was able to kill four people and no one, I guess, make a sound and warn the others. Yes, but he did have a mask on, so I don't know. I mean, the only thing they got right was the bushy eyebrow thing, so I don't know. I don't know. He is innocent until proven guilty. So, but again, he is pretty staunch about his innocence, but also Christopher Gregor is too, right? he turned down a 30-year plea deal, which he should have taken. Because now he is forever going to be seen as the treadmill abuse dad, because my God, that video is horrific. I can't believe they showed that, to be honest. Yeah, that's pretty foul. And I honestly, like, I do believe his parents have seen that video. I definitely believe his parents have seen that video. You know what's crazy is Christpher cried, or whatever you want to call it. He wiped his nose a lot when his parents were on the stand. I think he has shown emotion throughout the trial, but when his parents were on the stand, he showed a lot of emotion. So I think he's a weird dude. Like, I feel like he was more emotional for his parents than he's ever been for Corey. Like, he just didn't have an attachment to that little boy, obviously. No. They're going to say that. What bothers me most, okay, is Dr. Botnick, because I am a huge, well, used to be a huge fan of Dr. Botnick, Dr. Henry Lee. Like, I could take anything they say and it would be, to me, truth, because I'm such a forensic nerd. But to know that Dr. Botnick is going to get up on that stand and say the opposite is very disappointing to me. But to know that there's lacerations, like actual lacerations to his liver, to his heart, that is crazy. And if you're going to tell me that this kid died of pneumonia when he was just at the hospital earlier in the day, no, that doesn't make any sense. You don't just get pneumonia like within hours. I mean, you could have an onset of sickness coming, but everything was fine. The kid had all his vitals, all his tests, everything was fine. So it doesn't make sense. I don't understand how Dr. Botnick is going to spin this. So I'm very curious to see how he's going to spin this. Because he is an expert in the field, but now I'm wondering, he's been around a long time too. So I'm kind of wondering. Yeah, sepsis takes up to 12 hours, though, like to sit in. It's not like something that happens within, I mean, what? It was less than 12 hours that he went from 9 o'clock in the morning being dropped off to 4:30 in the afternoon going back to the emergency room. That does not compute. So the lacerations to the organs is what, to me, is the biggest deal. And as the pediatrician lady said up there, the internal woman, she said that his white blood cell count was high, and that could be due to the stress of what was happening to his organs. So I think these poor children are suffering so much. Yeah, they're trying to make it sound like the mom took him from one hospital against medical advice, but she just took him. They wanted him to go by ambulance. It wasn't like she took him out of the hospital altogether. She just transported him herself. So they're trying to make it seem like she took him from that hospital altogether against medical advice. She just didn't want to take the ambulance. I mean, ambulance costs a lot of dang money. Everybody knows that. I mean, I work with old people, and you know how many times they don't want to be taken by ambulance because they're like, no, I'll just call my daughter, or I'll call my son, or whatever. But they don't want to go by ambulance because ambulance is a huge bill. I mean, I've had to take an ambulance before. I literally lived like a mile away from the hospital, but I couldn't drive myself and I couldn't walk because I'd broken my ankle and I didn't know anybody. I just moved there, and an ambulance, my neighbors called 911, an ambulance had to come get me. And it was just literally down the road, and it cost $1,200. So I know why people don't want to take an ambulance. So for them to try to point out that she did it against medical advice is so mean. So that's just trying to make her look like a negligent parent. But she took him to the hospital. So yeah, that's not right. And to try to make it seem like she was beating, that child had no history of abuse until that guy came into the picture, till that Christopher guy. I mean, that does not compute. She may have dabbled in drugs. Who hasn't done that in their lifetime? Okay, there might be some perfect angels out there, but she dabbled in drugs. She was depressed. She's going through this child custody situation. It happens. People do make poor decisions, but she was not a bad mom. She was that kid's mom. Took care of him for the first 4 years of his life. Nobody's perfect, but doesn't mean you have to be a complete and total jerk like him. Yeah, for sure. Like he got a hold of that kid, and I think he just was spiteful. I think he was just a spiteful person, and he's cruel. And can you believe was working with children? He just didn't love his own child. He was ashamed of that kid or something. I don't know what his deal was. So you think Brian Kohlberger is guilty? Why? Yeah, he definitely didn't want a connection. That's for sure. I think it was really just to spite the mom. I think he I think he I think he didn't want that to exist. I think he didn't want I think he considered Corey a that or an it, and he didn't want Corey to exist because it was a reminder of something he did wrong or that he didn't want to have out there. He does give off a vibe for sure. I agree with that. Um, but I mean, he is kind of on the spectrum though, right? Do you think? He's very odd. I don't know what else to say about that guy. He's really odd. But does it make him a quadruple murderer? I don't know. I'm really interested to see what the case is against him. Also, I was waiting, so just hanging on like crazy to hear his alibi, and it was so crushing and deflating because it wasn't anything. I was just driving around looking at the stars. What? That is your alibi? Right? Yeah, I was just driving around looking at the stars. What the heck? You should have just said you were at home in the bed, but they had to explain why his phone was pinging off all these towers, I guess. So, whatever. Yeah. I'm driving around. Oh, ran over. Oh, sorry, I don't know what that was, but I'm looking at the stars. Yeah, so whatever. Pretty crazy. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. So do you notice how the witnesses in Karen Reed's trial get very snippy snappy with the defense, but they have their story so in line for the prosecution, like it's like perfect for the prosecution? Like crazy perfect. Like they even have timestamps. It's nuts. But then when the defense gets up there, they're like, I don't recall. I don't remember. It was a long time ago. So nuts. I don't know if they're going to do a half day today for Karen Reed. Or is anyone watching the Daniel Garcia trial? I think someone mentioned that they were. I think Nutty Tart or Jen mentioned they were watching the Daniel Garcia trial. Hi, Kathy. I can do live on Tuesday if you want. Do you guys want to do live on Tuesday and watch the Dr. Botnick speak on Tuesday? We can do that. I'm sorry we can't watch the trial at the same time. Oh, sweet. Great, Kathy. I will do that. Um, yeah, this is fun. This is definitely fun. It's not a whole lot of people. I don't have thousands of people in my chat like some YouTubers, but this is fun. Maybe you guys can invite your friends. Bring some coffee. Yeah. How many times they say that, it's crazy. And they're so combative, like on the defensive when the defense gets up and starts asking them questions. It's crazy. Well, I guess as a self-appointed alternate juror, I did not get the memo from the Gregor trial that they weren't going to meet today. So they didn't think about informing us YouTubers. But I'm glad Captain Pirate was on top of that. This is why we have people tune in to channels so they can like keep us posted. It's my dog. He's like glued to me. He does not like it when I do YouTubes. All right, so there's no Gregor trial. No one said they're watching the Daniel Garcia trial? I guess I should catch up on that. They're calling it the injury to a child trial. Pretty sure there's more to it than that. Oh, goodness. And what about Micah Miller? Has anyone kept up with that? She's the pastor's wife that supposedly killed herself. Sorry, this is my dog. This is Neo. His name is Neo because he's a rescue dog. I used to work at a dog shelter. And he's the one that grabbed me and was able to survive. His name is Neo because A, he's the one, and B, because I'm a humongous Keanu Reeves fan. And his birthday is Labor Day, actually, the day before Keanu Reeves, because he can't have actual Keanu Reeves' birthday because, well, he's not Keanu Reeves. But, yes, huge Keanu Reeves fan. He's the greatest thing ever. You have to sit down, honey. Okay, I'm doing something. They're going on lunch break for Karen Reed? Oh, they're coming back. Hi, Jenna. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Sorry, there's no trial for Gregor today. They're going to go on another long hiatus and have trial on Tuesday. So, again, finding it really difficult with this trial that they are taking so long and having so many breaks. It's not making a whole lot of sense. So, the Karen Reed trial is on. They're finally coming back from their break. Oh, so Ressa says there's a trial in North Carolina where a lady shot her husband. Yeah, I think the Gregor trial is going to have an appeal. So I think whatever happens in this case, we're going to see this case again. So you guys can chime in on that. What do you think about that if you want? Okay, so I thank everyone for joining this chat. Sorry we didn't have a trial after all. Get my dog down. He's not wanting to go. I thank everyone for joining the chat. Kathy mentioned she wants to do this Tuesday when they do come back to trial. So we will do a chat on Tuesday. Again, I'm not tech savvy. I don't have the proper software to watch the trial at the same time as on the same screen. Also, there's like copyright issues with doing stuff like that. I will try to figure out this weekend. Hi, Jen. If I can figure out how to get the software on here to watch the trial at the same time that we're doing the chat, I'll work on that this weekend and see if we can do that Tuesday. But we will have a live chat as we check out the trial, and we can watch the trial, chat about the trial. I definitely want to see what Dr. Botnick has to say because, again, he is world renowned. And I am just really curious how he's going to spin this as a sepsis, pneumonia, natural causes type of thing, because they are saying, as the defense attorney said, cardiac arrest. That's what he said. So, thank you, Kathleen. Yeah, sorry, I'm not more tech savvy. And I'm sorry, I don't look like my picture. Those are headshots for my acting. But I don't edit. I just come in here being myself. I've been criticized by other people who said that, I just be me. Sorry, this is what you get. But thank you so much. I just try to keep it simple and just be myself because I don't know how else to be, honestly. I don't want to put on a fake show. Whoops, there went my dog. Thanks, Jen. So yeah, that's, I washed my face and put on my moisturizer. It's very shiny. um, but yeah, so this is just fun. I do this for fun. Like I said, I don't make any money on YouTube. I just enjoy doing this. It keeps me out of my boring four walls, and it takes my mind off of you know being in pain 24/7. So yes, the case is very annoying. And I've never seen anything like it either, actually. I've never seen a jury get this many breaks, which is why I keep saying I think there is going to be an appeal. And I think he is going to be able to appeal, but it's going to be all for naught because he's still going to be found guilty anyway. But I do think it's going to be brought up to an appeals court, and the appeals court is going to say, probably on what do they call it? Poor defense, like inadequate defense. And his lawyer is going to be fine with that. His lawyer is actually going to probably suggest that. He's probably going to say, hey, you need to appeal this on grounds of a poor defense, lack of defense. So he's doing this on purpose. This lawyer is doing this on purpose. This lawyer is terrible, by the way. He is a pit bull. And I think he's not a good lawyer to have for a case like this. I think I mentioned this in one of my videos, is that I think a woman lawyer, oddly, I know it sounds crazy, and not to say that it's just strategy. Strategy wise, I think a female lawyer for Christopher Gregor would have been better for the jury, just because it would have come across softer for Christopher Gregor. Because if you're talking about beating a child, you want to see someone soft for this abuser, this person who's being accused of abusing and beating a child to death. You want to have someone that comes across soft and gentle. And I think that this jury getting all these breaks and days and relief time, when you have a lawyer like that that's coming across, and as the way he attacked the last witness, the expert witness, like, you don't even know how to do CPR. You couldn't tell me how to do CPR. And she was very meek and kind of turned in. She wasn't very confident, which is why, not criticizing her profession or her expertise, just criticizing that she didn't come across very strong. Her testimony was great. Just her body language and everything was not very strong, and he chewed her up because he's such an aggressive person. So that was kind of the point I was trying to make about her. It wasn't her. It was just that she herself, obviously, being the first time being put on as that expert witness, the way he treated her was very uncalled for. And I think that is his strategy. So it will go to appeal. It will get brought back down, because they are going to say, why didn't the judge just say, to heck with this trial? We need to dismiss it. We need to start over. We need to schedule this when everybody can do this in sequential order. But they didn't do that. So yeah, so yeah, we will definitely do this live on Tuesday. Hopefully they will have the trial. And yeah, I hope that this trial will end on Tuesday. Do you think Christopher Gregor is going to testify? I asked this earlier, but does anyone think he's going to testify? I think he will. I think he has backed himself into a corner where he has to. You don't think he's going to, Jen? Okay. All right. Okay. He would, but he was a fool not to take that 30-year plea. You don't think he's going to, Kathy? Okay. Ah, well, true. That's a good point. But he's also a narcissist. So, I mean, look at Alex Murdaugh. He testified. Do you think Dr. Botnick's testimony, because I'm really curious about that testimony, do you think that'll be enough to keep him from testifying? Okay. We will see. We will see. I wonder if they're going to put up any character witnesses for him. And where is this chick that met him in Tennessee? Who is she? Why is she not, like, what is her role in this? This is crazy. There's so many empty spaces in this. It doesn't make sense. So I'm wondering if the defense is going to call her up. I'm surprised that the prosecution didn't subpoena her, because she's an accessory after the fact, to me. I mean, not that she did anything to Corey, but she did meet him after. So she has to have some sort of knowledge of some kind, but it is hearsay, third party knowledge. So I don't know. Of course, if she were in the Karen Reed trial, it would be totally acceptable, because hearsay could come in. Because that trial, she's just letting everything in for the prosecution. So, yeah, that is true. That whole phone call situation with the mom, that's pretty crazy. That's dumb. Super dumb on his part. So, and I don't think Kohberger is going to go on trial till what, like 2025, 2026? I don't know. The families are not going to hear anything for a while. It's really sad. Yeah, the way his attorney sounded, he did sound like he would. But that just okay, so think about it this way. That just adds to their appeal if he testifies, because him testifying is bad for his defense, which would tie into poor defense. Like, I had inadequate defense. So if he testifies, that will go towards his appeal. Well, my defense attorney just sucked, and he didn't warn me properly that by my testifying, it could hurt me more to testify than not to testify. So, against my attorney's better judgment, so he could use that also in his appeal. It could work in his favor to testify. Yes, he would be targeted for cross-examination, which is also, another way that he could say, my lawyer didn't advise me properly. So I don't know. It's a toss-up. It's definitely a toss-up. Very curious. These are all good points. We shall see. God, we have to wait 3 days. Gosh. Imagine being on this jury, though. What if you were on a jury like this? How would you feel? I mean, seriously. Well, I mean, we're not on the jury. We're watching this trial, and look how we feel, right? Like, this is awful. This is just torture. Imagine being on the jury and being told that you can't talk about this, that you can't look at anything, that you can't anything. So imagine being on the jury. We're talking about it. Right? And we're actually able to talk about it. We're not on the jury. So imagine being on the jury and you're like, nope, you can't look anything up. You can't even talk to your family members about it. That is bull caca, because you know they're talking about it. You know they are. Tell me you wouldn't be going home every day or in between all these breaks and stuff, and you're not talking to your husband, or you're not talking to your wife, or you're not talking. Come on. They're talking about it. Give me a break. Tell me you didn't go home after seeing the treadmill video and bawl your eyes out. Right? Tell me that didn't impact you some way. You got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. That's not real. That video, those people went home. They had to have gone home and been like shattered. So yeah, we're almost at the end of March. May. We're at the end of May. This has been going on a month. So tell me you didn't go home after seeing that video and cry your eyes out. So yeah, that's insane. There's no way they're not talking about this trial. There's no way they're not going into the jury room every time the judge sends them out and they're like, oh my God, what did I just see? Yeah, come on. Because they're not supposed to talk about it amongst themselves. They're not supposed to talk about it in their family. They're not supposed to talk about it. I mean, what the heck? That's insane. That's asking too much. That's asking way too much, especially with these long breaks. This is a 4-day weekend they're getting right now. And heck, last week, what did they get? They got I think they got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, they got another 4 or 5 day break. That's crazy. Makes no sense. And I'm so excited you guys keep coming in and out of this chat. We're not even doing anything. We're just chatting with each other. This is great. I didn't think anyone was going to come on here. You're just looking at my cloffice. I love my cloffice. It's very cozy. Cozy is a code word for small. I don't have near the amount of decorations. Oh yeah, I'm sure, because you're right, the time in between. Because really, the main standout for the prosecution, right, is that treadmill video. That's the one thing. If you think about all the other information the prosecution has put out there, I don't honestly, unless you go back and watch the trial, you don't remember squat, right? Like I don't remember, unless I go back and look at even my videos or even the trial, you don't remember anything other than that treadmill. That is it. I can't remember really anything Brianna said. I can't really remember much of the Emmy said. I have to go back and watch all that. The jury doesn't have that. They have the treadmill is ingrained. It's in there. Then whatever Dr. Botnick says, that's going to be in there. So yeah, I don't know anything but that treadmill. That treadmill is right there on top of my brain. But then if whatever Dr. Botnick says, and if Christpher testifies, that will be a doozy. So other than that, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I honestly don't. The treadmill is it. The treadmill is like, oh, and that's it. That they can't see anything. They can't look at anything about this trial because it could bias them in some way. Like if they saw any of my videos or any YouTubers anything, then it could sway them in a way. So they're supposed to keep their eyes and ears closed on everything, and they're not supposed to talk to each other or anything. So whenever you're a jury, I've never been called for jury duty. Has anyone on here ever been called for jury duty? Because I've always wanted to be called for jury duty and I've never been called. And I'd probably not get put on a jury because I know way too much about criminal law and forensics and things like that. So Oh, cool. Did you get put on the jury? Was it a cool jury, or was it like, because my luck, I get put on like an insurance claim or something? Oh, see, I'm afraid that I would be the holdout on any jury that I got put on. I'd be the one that'd be like, wait a minute. I honestly would have to go back and look at the detective again, to be real with you, because like I said, I the treadmill is is the main thing that I remember. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I've been in a trial before, but I've never been on a jury. But I have been in a trial, and we won. But I've been on many cases. I've been on a lot of cases because of my career, but back in the day. But yeah, I've won all of my cases, but that's because people are dumb and they steal. All right, thanks, Jen. I will see you all Tuesday, and we'll do this again. Maybe I'll figure out the software shenanigans. Okay, everybody, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to catch up on the Karen Reed trial and recap that later. So tune in for another video. Please check out my other videos. Like, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. I greatly appreciate everyone who joined this chat. I know it's disappointing we didn't have a trial to watch today as far as Christopher Gregor is concerned, but there's plenty of other things going on. So we can watch all of that. I will see you all on Tuesday. We'll do a live. It's been requested, and I greatly appreciate it so much. You guys are amazing. Thank you. I know it's a small channel, but we are mighty, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all Tuesday.